What's up, Frog fam? Got a special Sunday edition of TCU Postgame Live. I know it's been a minute. I've been gone. The conditions haven't always been the best for me to do these postgame shows in the month of November, but I got a big one for you today. Frogs win 45-23 over those Cincinnati Bearcats, the hated Conference USA rivals, of course, that we got to play during rivalry week. We're going to talk all about it. Clint Foster here with you for this Sunday edition of TCU Postgame Live. And of course, this all begs the question, where was this all year? What were we doing all season? Why couldn't we do this all year? But before we talk about any of that, you know I need a little bit of help from y'all. I need y'all to subscribe to the show. That's what I really need you to do. Please subscribe, particularly to the Big 12 channel. That's going to help me out so very much. I am 11 subscribers away from 1,000, that oh-so-coveted, oh-so-desired 1,000 subscriber number. And you can help me get there at Big 12 BOCFB. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. This isn't your first day on the internet. Also, subscribe to the TCU channel as well. You see it following behind on the bottom of the screen there. Help a brother out. Also, subscribe to my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Creations. Brewing up another documentary short for y'all and hoping that here within the next week or so, I'll be able to make a sketch for y'all. We'll see. Adulting is hard. That life, there's always things happening. We'll see how it goes. But if you subscribe to that channel, you're going to see the stuff as soon as it drops. So make sure you do that. And also subscribe to the Voice of College Football on all of your social medias. It's BVOCFB. Engage in the conversation. And follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55. Find us wherever you get your podcasts and check out the Voice of College Football.com for the shop and all the other wonderful things that you can get there. Also, keep in mind, as always, postgame show, it doesn't matter if it's on a Sunday, postgame show's a call-in show. So if you got something you want to get off your chest, you got something you want to say about these frogs, the state of frogdom, that win over Cincinnati, or I don't know, soccer, basketball, any of that. I mean, this is a college football show, but you know, I'm equal opportunity. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about as long as it's TCU related. That link is in the chat. Okay, so check that out right there. That StreamYard link. That's what you're going to put into your URL, and you can call in, and I'll put you on the show. You know, and if you're adequately annoying and vulgar and all of those great things, I'll give you lots of screen time. That's how we're going to do this thing. Okay, so let's talk about this win. 45-23, as I was saying. Frogs finished the season 8-4, as many people frankly predicted, right? It didn't go down exactly the way that a lot of us thought it would go down, but Frogs get a dominant win at home against those Cincinnati Bearcats. A Bearcats team that had a very rough November, by the way. It's worth mentioning. 0-4 in the month of November, Cincinnati. Yeesh, not great. But Frogs sent them out on an L. Very, very solid day on both sides of the football for TCU. The Frogs were in control of the game from start to finish. Yet another lightning delay did not slow the Frogs down. It made sure the rest of us got home later than we intended to, and it made sure that the game lasted. We basically experienced all 4 seasons during that game, for those of you who were there with me, right? You had it was a gorgeous day, nice and warm at the start of the game. Then you had the thunderstorm roll in, and then all of a sudden it got frickin' freezing there at the end. What a time. But the Frogs weathered it all. They won that game in dominant fashion, easily TCU's most dominant victory since North Carolina. I think it's very easy to say that. And you got a lot of really great stats across the board too. So Josh Hoover, 19 for 22, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Can you believe that, right? Josh Hoover had a clean game, played very, very well. But if we're going to talk, and also Eric McAllister had an excellent game. He was the primary beneficiary of that game from Josh Hoover. 8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Jordan Dwyer had 2 touchdown catches, 84 yards on 3. So 2 of his 3 catches were for touchdowns. Joseph Manjack also had a really great day, 5 catches, 59 yards. But the reason that pass game was so wide open and so efficient is because of my first point that I want to talk about here today. All aboard the pain train, okay? I'm trying to make pain train happen. It seems like people are starting to jump on board with that. I also take credit for starting Turpentine. All right, you know, I'm the shadowy figure that's like putting all this out into the world. I'm going to take credit for it. So Jeremy Payne, amazing day. Number 26 had 26 carries. He went for 174 yards For those of you math whizzes out there, that's 6.7 yards a pop and 2 touchdowns. He has very much grown into an every down back for this football team, right? It's taken him this year really to grow up and grow into that. But a lot of people saw this in a freshman Jeremy Payne last year, like, hey, this is a kid who could be really, really great. He's really turning into that. And because Kavorian Barnes missed so much time this year, it really allowed Jeremy Payne to blossom. He's a guy that I don't know how you can't be really excited about both him and John Denman going into next season as a 1-2 punch. 2 very athletic young running backs. I guess Jeremy Payne will be a junior next year, but hey, that bodes really, really well. So, like I say, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. The offensive line blocked well, but also Jeremy Payne was very patient. Okay, he waited for holes to open. He cut back at opportune times. He stretched the field at opportune times. He played really, really excellent. You really can't ask for a whole lot more from a running back in that performance. And John Denman did well as well. A couple times he lost his feet, but 10 carries. It's a healthy share, 29 yards. And then Nate Palmer also got involved late, 8 carries for 33 yards. So hey, that's amazing, right? This is the thing that we've been wanting from TCU all year. Run the ball effectively, take some pressure off of that passing game, off of Josh Hoover. Josh Hoover was making great decisions in the pocket. The offense was beautiful. Like, literally, what more can you ask for? And the defense played well too, right? I mean, hey, you might be like, oh, 23 points, what? But hey, Brennan Sorsby's a very good quarterback. He still passed for 282 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he ran for 59 yards as well. But that 3-3-5 defense, as it is apt to do, it bent, but it did not break. And there you have it, a complete game from the Frogs, which again begs the question, where was this all year? What were we doing for 3 months in between North Carolina and now, right? Hey, it's frustrating as a fan. And if any of y'all call in, I want to know if you feel the same way, right? Because, you finish a season with 8 wins, opportunity to win the bowl game. We'll talk about bowl projections here in a second. So you have an opportunity for a second straight 9-win season, which, from a pure numbers perspective, whenever we had to move on from Gary Patterson, if you told basically any TCU fan, like, hey, you're 4 seasons after Coach P leaves, you're going to go 13-2, 5-7, missing bowl game, and then back-to-back 9-win seasons, you'd be like, hey, that sounds pretty good, right? Sounds like we're competing at a high level and we're building something. But, of course, that takes out all of the eccentricities and the reason why there is so much malaise and apathy within the fan base over a second straight 9-win season is it's how you got to those 9 wins, right? You lose 4 games that you had absolutely no business. I'm going to say you had no business losing those games, right? I mean, Iowa State and Arizona State, those were easily winnable games, right? You were a significantly better team than Iowa State at that point in the season. Should have won that game. Kansas State, you get blown out by a team that you're far superior to because you're playing undisciplined, you're playing sloppy, and you don't have that sense of urgency. And then BYU, you just get absolutely shut out by, right? Losing to BYU isn't the worst thing in the world this year, but it's like, come on, you got to show a pulse, right? All of that combined together is what makes this so frustrating. Yeah. It's not that we won 8 games, it's how we won those 8 games. And it's frustrating as well because you look at another 8-win season and the way that this administration appears to be treating all of this, it's like, oh, well, why would we need to make any changes? Why would we need to do anything different? We won 8 games. Hooray. Yay, us. And that's just not in line with the reasonable expectations that this fan base has for this program, right? This is a program that Sonny Dykes said so himself. If you're not competing for a Big 12 championship with this team, it is a disappointment. And he was correct when he said that. And you are justified in feeling that way now if you are disappointed. Yeah. Because that is the whole frustration here. Amazing. We put together a complete game win. We looked fantastic. Where the hell was this against Iowa State? Where the hell was this against Kansas State? Where the hell was this against Arizona State? Where the hell was this against West Virginia? Right? The last 3 minutes against Baylor. Okay. This team was MIA for the vast majority of the season. But let me hear what you have to say about it, okay? While I give you a second to think about your potential responses to all of that, let's catch a quick word from the boss man about Voice College Football. Let's here we go.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks: 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
So, the Frogs finish strong. Can they make the changes they need to going into next season to, again, compete for a Big 12 championship? Well, I guess we'll see. We need a lot more consistent play from the offensive line. We need a lot more accountability from the top down. You're going to have a lot of pieces. You're going to have a lot of talent. Most likely, Josh Hoover's back for his senior season. Jeremy Payne's coming back for his junior season. You're going to have skills at the wide receiver position and guys on defense. I don't know. We kind of thought that was going to happen this year. They were going to take that next step, but fool me twice, shame on me, right? I guess we'll see what happens. And we'll see if any changes get made this offseason. I tend to think no, right? I tend to think that 8 wins is an excuse to be like, nah, we're good. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes? Okay, so let's talk about the end of this season, though. Before we start the 10-month-long struggle session that is getting ready for 2026. Bowl projections, right? There's a lot of different bowl projections floating around out there. Frogs having an 8-win season, they're going to end up in one of those lower tier to mid-tier Big 12 tie-in bowls. It is interesting because, you think 8 wins, hey, we're probably going to get one of the better bowls, right? But Big 12 standings were actually near the bottom as far as bowl eligible teams go, because all 4 of those losses came in the Big 12. Shout out SMU, by the way, losing at Cal. Great job, guys. That's amazing. They were going to get a Virginia Duke ACC championship game. And hey, you may not even get an ACC team in the playoff. And also, if BYU makes it into the playoff, that's going to have ramifications for TCU's bowl down the line. But it looks like, judging by our record, judging by precedent, and a lot of bowl projections you see out there, that Texas Bowl is kind of the ceiling for TCU this December. Texas Bowl, obviously, you'd be playing a mid to lower tier SEC team. That could be interesting, depending on who it is. But you're also seeing a lot of other projections. Armed Forces Bowl has been thrown out there, and everyone can let out a collective groan. Can you imagine? I don't know how many of y'all were around in 2003 when we played in the inaugural Fort Worth Bowl. I was there against Boise State, and it sucked. It was not fun, and we lost. So, hopefully that doesn't happen. If we're in the Armed Forces Bowl, it'll probably be against Army, which you'd think that we would have an easy time with, seeing as how they lost to Tarleton State earlier in the year. But I don't know. I kind of tend to think that Army offense against a 3-5 could be bad. And also, the biggest part of bowl games is the excitement factor. Who wants to be there more? And that definitely could swing more in Army's favor in that situation. So hopefully it's not the Armed Forces Bowl. But I'm looking right now at CBS Sports. CBS Sports has us projected for the Liberty Bowl. We haven't been there in a while, right? 2016 was the last time we were in the Liberty Bowl, that other loss to Georgia. But they have us playing in the Liberty Bowl against Tulane, which could be interesting. That, of course, Tulane would be taking one of the SEC tie-in spots, assuming that the SEC gets 3,000 teams into the playoff, which they probably will. Tulane matchup will be very interesting. I've heard Independence Bowl bandied about. Perhaps we could end up in the Independence Bowl, or Athlon has us projected in the Rate Bowl against Northwestern. So I don't know. I feel like best case scenario, absolute best case scenario, you're playing in the Texas Bowl against a beatable SEC team that's going to be a fun game. A lot of TCU fans can go to. Houston's very close. Reliant Stadium is a fun stadium. You can stay with friends. You can hang out. It'll be a good time, right? Rate Bowl's probably your second best option just because you're going to be able to play a very beatable Big Ten team. And TCU in more recent years has had very good luck in Arizona. Outside of that, not a lot to get excited about. I think we all could agree. Hopefully it's not the Armed Forces. And hopefully it's something, again, that we can build on and actually, do something worth talking about next year. Yeah. But until then, we shall see what happens. So that's all I've got for y'all. None of y'all wanted to call in, which is totally fine. I'm sure my wife is very excited about that. Put me back to work doing some chores around the house, which I need to do. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in on Tuesday. We're going to have another Biggest 12 for you, where we'll talk all about the final week of the Big 12, getting us ready for that BYU Texas Tech Big 12 championship game, and talking about that possibility. Can the Big 12 get more than one team in the college football playoff? We will break it all down, as well as some, what I would assume are updated bowl projections going into that Tuesday. So, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. As I said, please subscribe to Big 12 VOCFB. Just 11 subscribers away. I just need y'all to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to TCU VOCFB as well. Follow me on Twitter at Clint_Foster55. Follow the Voice of College Football, all of the places, and check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify. We're in all of the places. And also, subscribe to my personal YouTube channel at Clint Foster Comedy. Hey, Steve, what's up? Yes, of course. I was not going to miss the tailgate. I will see you next year as well. Or, hey, maybe at a basketball game. I don't know if y'all go to basketball games or baseball games. I might see y'all there, too. I'm always around wearing my purple. You know me. Tune into the Biggest 12 on Tuesday. And until then, I love you. And go Frogs. See you around.